Cool. All right, here we go. We got the final phase. We're going to do the final build off here in our V3 building series. Tonight we're going to mount the motor. We're going to reinstall our control horns because we already had them on there once when we did the mock-up and got everything set for our laser rods. We're going to cut this out. We're going to get all our wiring secured. We're going to put a 3D printed nose cone on it for the camera. Woohoo! We got a camera, and we're going to get the nose on there. We'll get that mounted tonight. Get the video all lined up and get this baby ready for her maiden. That's right. Hopefully this weekend we'll be tossing it. So, and I've got a new motor on the way too, which is going to be exciting. One of my good friends here in Jacksonville is hooking me up with a new Emax motor, so that'll be cool to check out. Anyway, let's get to work on this and see what we can get accomplished here this evening. I think we're going to start with the back and finish up with our Dubro half A's. These were cut down. We did a little modifying. We modify everything around here, so that's what we did. So we got them cut down, and I can see my holes are still here from when we did the mock-up and got all these set, and I'm just going to go with them for right now. I don't think they're going to be an issue. Let's see here, we get the right tool for the trade. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, felt like the one. Make sure that's the one. Spin it. Yeah. Always the way. Yeah, okay. Got to get you mounted. Matter of lining it back up. Brighten it up. There we go. That's much better. Alright, so we are mounting. Well, you know what? Probably help if I poked a little hole here. There we go, that'll make my life a whole lot easier. Set that one in there a little bit. Put this one in here. And then, what you'll have on the back side of this thing, I can pick it up off the desk. And that goes on the back, these little squares. So we'll get that lined up, and that'll be, we'll push that on. Get the screw through the other side. Yep. Get that one in a second. Alrighty. There we go. It's just a matter of applying some finger pressure while you're tightening down on them. There we go. I probably should have painted them. They might have come out a little bit. They're white. Oh, my nice purple. Snap this on there, get the clevis on the horn. Might as well do it while we're here. Damn, I think it's tight. Ooh. That little booger is tight. Ooh. Don't have to worry about that coming off when it's that tight. All right. Nice. All right. And let me pick that piece up that I dropped. Yeah, we're gonna need that as I push more stuff around the bench and make a bigger mess than I started with. What did I do with the other one? It was just here. Ooh, coffee break. My goodness. Well, that is a classic case of getting pushed around the bench. There it is, right in front of me. And we're going to put number 2 on there. We got it right here. Toss that bad boy up. Get something to poke a hole through the back in. Tighten down the lamb right there, a little loose spot. It's easy to start them with they're about the same. Okay. Don't fight with me. You want to make sure you push this through so you can locate it. I'm going to do one at a time. Doing them both at the same time makes it more difficult. So just do one, get it all the way through. There you go, and poke through. Yeah, it's going to be a lot easier doing one at a time. Come on. Running a damn router all day today. My hands are like tight and numb. Went back to work. Finally back to work. Good things. Especially in this time of weirdness that we're all in. But make the best of it. You gotta keep on trying to make lemonade. Even with the lemons that they're feeding us right now. What the heck? That one's really off. Get it to go through. Not really wanting to bite me. It's not gonna work. Don't want to line up for some reason. Probably went through a little bit crooked, almost there. Probably just went in a little bit crooked. I'm just trying to burn a new hole in the plastic, but that nylon doesn't want to give up the goat. Man, it's so close, like right on the edge of the thing. Yep. know if we have any viewers tonight, or if I'm just kind of doing this on my own, but anyway, she's going to fly really good. This is a pretty wing. Finishing it up tonight. Let's see, maybe we got it now. This little thing being a little booger. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they grab right away. Sometimes, like this one, they take a little. There, we got it that time though. There it goes. Alright. Beautiful. Perfect. That's what I like to see. Perfection. Alright, so there we go. Just like that. We have got our control surfaces are hooked up. And we are good to go on that. Now we are going to, I guess we'll keep on the back of the plane. Because once we cut this once we cut the camera mount, it's kind of like let it sit and dry. So let's continue on the back of the plane and let's mount the motor. And for the motor, you know, there's a lot of options. So I guess let's talk about that for a second. So Chris sends out, sometimes he'll send out something like this, which is the metal bracket, which a lot of us like to use. The metal bracket is nice and stiff. For racing, it definitely improves the performance of a racing rig because you get that nice. It's solid metal, so it's nice and stiff. It feels like it should be a racing frame. However, this is the ones that I modify when he sends them. That's how they come, and I belt sand them down. You can see how much metal I take off of them, just so there isn't so much drag on the back of the plane. So I sand them down, I take a shoulder off of them, round them out a little bit. So if you get the metal ones, a belt sander will do it. You can definitely modify it. However, a lot of people go with 3D printed ones as well, and that's what I think I'm going to do on this one. So that's a nylon carbon reinforced one. But we're not going to use this one. This one's off of another one that I was doing. I think we're going to use this one here. So my friend Matt printed this one up for me. And actually I had another one that's on my Nano Drac. But that one broke. And what did I put on the Nano Drac? I think I put a different color on. I think I put a green one on. Why not, right? Just change it up. So I have another purple one. And I'm going to put this on here because this is my cruising freestyle wing, and if it does take a hit, I want this to break. Yep, I want it to break because it'll break off and the plane will be saved. The motor, wires, whatever happens to that happens to that. But at the end of the day, this will save your plane because it'll break off before it snaps the frame. And I don't want nothing to happen to this frame, so we'll try to prevent everything from happening in my build. So if I don't want it to be damaged, I'm going to have to do something like this that will help it survive a bad crash, and it will. My Nano Drac would have been toast the other day if the motor didn't break off. The way it crashed, the way I belly flopped it. So this is going to be good. Going with this, you guys make sure you have a box of screws so that you can make sure we get the right length of screw for the motor. And I had them oh, they're probably here, so let's see, we'll put it through and we'll check. Always do this, always dry fit your screws to see how much of it is going to stick through there. Because what you don't want to happen is you don't want the screws to run into the windings, because the motor will be all janky, it won't run right. Just right. There you go. Yeah, you see that screw comes through a little bit too far for my taste. So where are the ones? Let's put this aside. They're probably floating over here somewhere. Loosey goosey on the table. Let's see. We want something just a little bit smaller than this one. Things that make you go, I thought I had most of this all laid out already, and this is going to be a pain in the butt, so I can't put that screw in. Actually, you know what? I am going to put that screw in there, because you know why? I'm not running this motor. This motor's damaged. The motor I'm getting from Matt. I'm getting that new Emax motor Matt got me one, so we'll put this in here. But guys, when you do this, I'll show you something. This is what we don't want. We don't want to make screws. We don't want to use screws that are going to be too long and ground out the motor. Yep. So, you see that? That's way too much screw sticking out of there. Don't put that in the motor, because that'll ground out your motor. You want something short. Like this one right here. Let's get this one out. I'll show you the difference. How much thread you really don't need a lot of thread to grab the motor. Yeah, this is going to be a much better fit, this one. Yeah, it's got a little bit more thread than this one. And that's the beauty about buying one of these millimeter kits. So, and with that one, you can see there's a lot less sticking out. So that's what we're going to use. We're going to use the one that has less sticking out, so we don't ground out our motor. And we have, just for building tonight, one slightly tore up, beat up, and well taken out Cobra. This was a good motor. Oh well. The parking lot took its life. Okay, and then you just line it up. Uh-oh. Line up, baby. There we go. And I'm only going to put 2 screws in it because I am changing this motor out. This motor will not stay on this wing. I should have asked Matt the specs on the motor that he said he was picking up for me. I think it's a 2210, 2600 kV. I think that's what he said. Anybody know what it is? Shoot me a message. I don't know what it is. I think it's a 2210, 2600 kV. And here we go. Okay. Voila. And you can see I like to braid my lines. I like to make them all pretty, 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 pretty. So there we go. And we're all mounted up. And now I'm going to take out the mounting screws, and I'm going to slide this baby on. I'm going to slide this baby on here and plug her in. And we will go from there. The back of the plane is almost complete. We're going to be moving on to the nose, mounting the FPV camera mount. And we are going to be that much closer to making this bird ready to fly. I can't wait to fly this wing. It's going to be so cool. I have to set up the GoPro to get some video of it because I'm really digging the paint job on this thing. I think it's going to be very, very fun to watch. I think it's going to be a good visual wing. Okay. Alright, so with that being said, I'm going to take my snap razor and I am going to cut out this area. Mount the motor, and I'll probably put a piece of lamb back over it just to help with the wind flow over the back of the wing as I push everything off the desk, and I will be looking for it in a second. That is just the way it is. Alright. Okay, now we give the beast some life. We put the motor on it. Motor goes on 4 mounting screws. I do not have the fingers for these little screws sometimes. Damn you. Try your friend. He was being cooperative, unlike you. There we go. You were not being cooperative. He's still not being cooperative. I know I checked all these threads before I put it on. What's the deal, Shaquille? Gotcha that time. One more nut. It didn't want to be named. I'll just use this one. I think what I'm going to do is print some vents. I think that's what I'm going to do tonight. I think tonight I'm going to print some vents for the bottom and the top of this wing. Wants to be play tough little, huh? Yeah, we're going to make some nice 3D printed vents for this thing. So I can open that up. There we go. Tighten it down. Make sure at this point now you got it all lined up. You can tighten her down. Oh, that looks good. We can plug the motor in. I got a lot of slack wire here right now, but we're just going to tuck it in behind the motor for the temporary. So I can pull everything into the ESC bay. You are just going to have to stay nice and tucked back in there. There we go. Alright. Oh, that motor's fried. Oh, I wish it was a good motor, but it's not. I guess I could try it, but I don't think it is. I think I crashed it and it hit the parking lot. So there we are, back of the plane. We got motor, control surfaces. Oh yeah, we're looking good. We're looking real good. Alright, so next step, I'm going to cut out the laminate around my battery bay. And we're going to lay out the nose to drop the camera mount in. Woo, we're getting so close. Oh, wait. Yeah, we'll do that. Let me just take a second. This piece of laminate here has been bothering me from the minute I picked this thing up today. I don't know why I didn't trim this better the other night. It was probably late. I was tired. Who knows? I'm lazy. That's what it comes down to. I was just lazy. Alright, there we are. Much more better. How about on this side? Yeah, this one's got one too. Some pennants. I left some pennants for my past self. Screwing my future self here. Or my present self. I don't know which one I'm... At the moment. Too much better. Oh, well, I got the razor blade in my hand. Let's take care of this. Now, on some of my builds, I would leave a piece of this and fold it down and do the wall. But once I get my wires in here, I will probably run some goop around the walls to hold everything in place and just to kind of give the foam a little integrity, because I did do a little modifying of the foam. I kind of cut a channel in there for the battery and everything to sit just underneath the spars right here. But I don't know, I think it'll be alright. We're gonna see, we're gonna see, we're gonna see. Alright, so now I got the battery bay cut open. I'll let you guys take a look at it. And you can see that channel I was talking about. I kind of cut a channel down in here. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit. But that's that. And we got some video wires sticking out through here. Let's get them out of the way. It's a good time to get all your wires orientated and situated the way you want them. And what do I got there? I got something that looks like... Oh, that's right. So I got video and I put the smart audio wire in there. So I already ran my smart audio and I got the video. So that's what we're going to hook up next. And I'm actually going to push this through real quick while I have my tweezers here. Little tweezers like this make this real great to kind of manipulate these wires in some of these spots. I highly recommend them to anybody. And if you can see, I'll turn it around here so you guys can see. What I'm doing is I'm just taking the tweezers, and they're nice because I got like a hook on them. I just take these tweezers and I just kind of gingerly feeding the wire into the channel there. And I can pull it back as far as I want, but I'm just going to make sure I have it right here. So if I need to access it or I need to get to it, I can. That would be why the path self put it in that way. Okay. There we go. And that's why I was saying I was going to put a little bit, probably a bead of goop in there once I get all these, everything. And once I know everything's working, I'll clean this up a little bit. There's a couple of loose beads of foam floating around there that can come out. And I'll goop all that stuff in. Make it pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay. So right now we have that. We have that. I kind of want to plug it in and test it. But I don't think I have any batteries in here. I think they're all outside. Oh, wait. I might have... Let me see. Oh, is that one in there? Woohoo! Lucky day! And tonight we will be using our Spectrum Smart Technology 100C 2203S. Let's turn on the transmitter. Alright, and here we go. Ooh, those servos are loud. These servos might not make the grade. Oh, I didn't hook that one up. Damn, those servos are loud. Well, that's what we had, so we'll see how they hold up. I don't think they're gonna hold up. I think once I get back to work and get some paychecks, I think those might be coming out of the wing. Don't quote me on that, but I see that happening. I think I'm in the wrong configuration there, Batman. Yep, motor's junk. Oh, I got something going on with this server already. This one's working good. This one is not working so well at all. Well, that is just a shame. It doesn't even look like it's connected up top. No, it is. It's garbage. No, that's a shame. That server's going to have to come out of there already. Oh well, let's keep on continuing on. There's nothing I can do about that right now. That's just going to have to get redone. Well, everything's centered. Oh well, that servo is not good. That upsets me a little bit. But we will keep on with our little video here. Sorry about that. Alright, so that's a little on the disappointing side. I bought some cheap servos from the hobby store because funds were limited, and I'm kind of paying for it now. Because now I gotta go in there and take it out because it's not. There's something screwed up with it. Yeah, it's got resistance. Oh, that sucks. Alright, well. Let's keep on keeping on. Oh man, that's frustrating. Well, that's part of the build, guys. That's part of the build. We'll get to it. We'll fix it. Alright, so next up, I got a 3D printed camera mount, and that's what we're going to be putting in next. We're going to cut it in and then goop it in, and then we'll have to let it set, and glue will have to dry. I got this. What else am I looking for here? I had a steel gauge. Where'd it go? That was what I forgot to take out. Be unprepared for school. There it is. Hiding out. I knew it was in the drawer. I knew where it was, but it was hiding out. Alright. So laying out this, what we're going to do is we're going to take it, we're going to measure it. It is 1 inch and 3/4. Yep, 1 inch and 3/4. And we're going to divide that in half, which we know from our math skills is going to be 7/8 of an inch in each direction. And as soon as I locate one of my Sharpies, we can lay it out. I guess I can lay it out with a pen or a pencil. Oh, there it is. Alright, so I can still see my center line. And we're going to hold it on 7/8. Let's see, move it up a little bit. 7/8. 7/8. And just to keep the defense honest, we're going to go here. 7/8. Measure there, double check our math. 1.5 inches. I think 1 inch and 5/8. And here we got, yep, 1 inch and 3/4. So I'm just gonna take it and do something like that. Okay. And you can double check yourself, hold it up over it. It looks pretty good. I'm going to cut on the inside line. You want to make it as tight as, you want to make not as tight as possible, we do want to make it tight. So we're going to cut on the inside lines, and we're going in 1.5 inches. From that point here, we're going to go in the 1.5 inches. We'll put them off there, and we'll kind of finish off that line there. Gonna leave a little bit. It looks a little deep, and you can always take a little more out. So I'm gonna leave a little bit more. Leave just. I'm gonna come off at just 1/8 of an inch. I think I'm back just a little too far. Yeah, I think that'll be better. Okay, so here's the fun and nerve-wracking part where we cut a hole in our brand new wing. Yay! Okay. Make sure you got a nice sharp knife. Try to cut straight down as possible. Oh, that's some tough foam. I hate doing that. That is some tough foam. We're just going to cut straight down. Make sure you're cutting on the inside of the lines so that you get a nice snug fit. At least that's what I like to do. I'm starting to get through it now. You try to hold your knife as straight as possible. And come through the top. Again, trying to stay as straight and perpendicular as possible. Not the end of the world if you go a little crooked, but we don't want to go crazy. Alright, oh, look at that foam coming out of there. So disappointed in those servos right now. I gotta stop thinking about it. go for the dry fit. Okay, so my line was good. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut back a little bit further because I can still set this back a little bit. It'll look better. So we're going to go ahead and cut the other line off. And this is where you want to have a nice sharp, really sharp knife, especially going through the drac foam. It's an industrial foam that Chris had made, sprayed into the, into the molds. Stuff is so tough. And you can see the density of that foam. Man, that's what we talk about all the time. That stuff is so, so tough. And you can see how good that lamb is on there with that 3M90. It ain't coming off, so good stuff. And you ain't breaking those two pieces apart either. So, the core sample. You can test it. You know you did a good job when you could test your core sample. Okay. Moving forward, let's see how we fit now. I like it. It looks a little crooked though. So what I'm going to do... It is nice and snug though. Which is kind of what I want. But it does look a little... Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just that ink line. You gotta be picky, right? Let's see if from down here it does look a little crooked. So maybe we can just take a little bit of this. That's all you gotta do, just little slivers. So just fit it, take your time, don't overcut it. Once you overcut it, you can't put it back. So don't, I got a little spot here that's holding it. I mean, the goop and the hot glue, you could fill it, don't get me wrong. But to me, you want to have as much of that natural foam there as possible. The original foam, much better. There you go. But before I do that, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut me a little square, probably right over here, since I've got all this wire coming that way. I'll keep it all coming that way. I'll bring the video around that way as well. So we are going to cut. This is just a little easier to do without the camera mount in the way. So it's a good time to make a little knockout for wires. And just like that. Okay, and that's what our cut's going to look like. We got a little knockout there for some wires. We've got the cutout for the camera mount. And we're going to mount the camera mount in there. We laid it out earlier. We got it all sitting nice where we like it. And that's how you kind of want it to fit. You want it to fit just like that. Yep, she's looking really good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is apply. We are going to apply some goopy goop. Some goopy goop to our camera mount. Put some on that side. And then what I do is I'm going to apply some here. Now a lot of this gets squeezed out, so what I do, I also do this. I also take a paint popsicle stick and kind of paint this wall here with this stuff. Just kind of spread it around. It's going to seal all those. It's going to act like a skin over all those beads of foam, locking them into place. In the event that we take a crash, it's going to hold them all together. So we want to make sure that we lock all. When you're building these wings, that's one of the things you want to make sure you do. When you make a cut or you're doing something, at the end of the day, you want to make sure you're locking that foam back together, so that when it takes a hard hit, it doesn't get destroyed. Or it doesn't take. It takes more to destroy it. However you want to look at it. Okay. And that's that. Stop touching it here in a minute because I'm pushing all the glue out. And don't worry if you have a little hollow on top. Let the glue set up, but you can always go back and put a little more over the top of it once it dries. What this goop will do, it'll just run out and become a runny mess. So just get enough in there so that it dries. Man, that looks good. Alright, we're all mounted up. Melted up, we're looking good. That little caddix that Matt, man, my buddy Matt's like, he's in on this one with me, I'm telling you. He'll be out there mating it with me too. So I got some glue on my fingers, I don't want to get glue on it, but there's the little caddix that he gave me. I never used one of these cameras, so this should be interesting. We're testing a new camera, and we're testing a new motor on this wing, so it's going to be fun. Alright, so I am going to just double check that I haven't shifted here. I just kind of put it down heavy. Okay, I'm good. What I am going to do real quick is I'm going to put this down for a minute to dry. But what I'm going to do real quick is have a sip of coffee. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Alright. Plugging in the camera, hooking up the camera is pretty basic at this point. Red, black, yellow, solder the wires together, and the camera's plugged in. Once I get all my wires set in here, just like you saw me goop the bay, the cutout for the camera, the entire thing, I will do the same thing on the inside of this battery bay and goop all these walls so that it's all sealed together and there's no way that, well, there is a way, but that goop is really strong. And sometimes I'll actually even take some goop back here and I'll goop through here and make this all nice and gooped up, because this is the spot that tears right in here when you have a bad nose impact. All that energy, that inertia, everything loads up and it usually tears right there. So, alright, so what we're going to do now is, in the spirit of modification and all things RC, because I just love to modify everything I have, and I'm never happy with what I have. I'm always trying to make it a little bit better and see if I can make it better, and for whatever reason. I guess it's the Ruby in me. I like to compete. I'm a competitive person. And it's good for me, because a lot of times I don't do well because of little issues that I have, either whether it be nerves or the day or my gear isn't right or whatever. But I find that in those moments of failure, you find the best solution and you hardly ever go back that way. If that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes any sense. So I never quit, never give up, and you keep on going on. So now, one thing I do like to modify, getting back to modifications and all good things modified, winglets. I still got to paint them, but I haven't done that yet because I want to modify them. Mounting them, I goop them, T-pin them on where I want them, done deal. Okay, so Chris has these winglets that he, has been using for years with the, I got another piece of that, I cut that. With the specs like this, and you set them and they stick out, and they do give maximum traction in the air. They work really well. I have flown many spec wing like this, and they handle just fine. They're really stable. They're like little arrows. However, for me, I don't like a big winglet. I like the wing to kind of slide a little bit. I like, especially when I'm, you know, sometimes I'll get it to slide sideways. I like doing a little sideways slide through the trees, or I like to cut the throttle and make it slide a little bit. So I'm going to shorten these down a little bit. I'm going to trace the bottom of the wing. Actually, I'm going to leave them just like that, I think. And I'm just going to kind of make some marks on here and just make my own winglet design, really. And I just really need them there to protect the elevons and the end of the wingtips, because these things fly great without them. So you really don't need them. So I'm going to put this down because I already see what I want to do. I'm just going to make a couple marks. I saw a pencil. Yeah, here we go. We'll make some marks with a pencil. Watch out. Watch out. Coming through. What I'm going to do here, I'll line it up. So I like them flush on the bottom. I don't like to have any winglets sticking out past the bottom. And I'm going to make a mark. Where do I want this puppy to stop? I guess right here. So we'll have a little bit back there. I'm going to leave it back there just to protect the elevon a little bit in case of a crash. It'll crumple and maybe protect it. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I should just cut these off completely. Nah, we'll leave it. We'll leave it there. I'll be happy with it there. Yes, design is fun. Design is fun. Alright, so what do we want to do here? So that's going to be the back. This is where I wanted to stop. I don't want anything really to go past there. So what do we just do? A radius, a simple radius. Let's see what we got. That's kind of tight. That'll make it look kind of cool. Vitamins? That's too small. I think that'll give us a good radius. Let's see. There you go. That might have more of a appeasing radius. Let's see what that looks like. This is just all taste. There's nothing that says I'm not an aerodynamic engineer or nothing. I'm just doing this for taste. I kind of like. Yep, I like it. It kind of reminds me of the green machine that I built for Shelby that he flew in CFL. Had a very similar winglet on it. Not this year's CFL. Last year's CFL. Let me correct that. Because I didn't go this year. I missed it. I got to Florida a week late. There you go. Just like that, we cut that off. We'll trace it on this one. Make sure you got them facing the right way, because they do have a kind of a shape to them. And then I'll run these out and get them painted, and we can mount them up later. I'll have them mounted. You guys don't know how to mount these. You're in the wrong hobby. No, I'm only kidding. Anybody needs to know how to mount these, just send me a message and I'll tell you how to mount them. They're really not that hard. Why is this lining up? Yeah, they're cut different. They're slightly off of each other. Yeah, I'll just have them back. There you go. there you go. And that'll be my winglet. It will be the winglet for the Kung Flu. We will have it just like that. And she'll mount at the bottom. Ooh. Yep. It'll be something like that. I'll probably tweak it a little bit, but yeah. Let's see. Yeah, and that'll be the winglet for the Kung Flu. We'll do it just like that. I think she'll be good. I think it'll fly nice. Alright guys, well that's it. I'm going to let the camera mount dry in place so I don't stop moving it. The goop will set up. And we are there. So we're all connected. I have a servo issue I have to work on later. But the camera mount is in. We're ready to add our camera. Tomorrow morning I'll solder that bad boy in, or tomorrow afternoon when I get home from work. I'll just mount those wire connections, and pretty much that's it. The next video you'll see of this bad boy is the maiden. So we are good to go tonight. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Be safe, be smart. Get you all some air therapy. Hopefully you all getting some nice weather. The weather's changing. Flying season coming up for a lot of people. Be good. Be safe. Everybody have a good night. Thank you for watching.